Hello once again, Internet. It's one of your favorite YouTubers, Romeo, here with another episode of Romeo's Discussions. Today I'll be discussing some Star Wars Episode 7 predictions, at least on my part, and based on some other assumptions that have been going around the Internet. Some of these you may have heard before, some of them might be original. I might be an original YouTuber, you never know, but we'll find out. But the first point that I want to make is, for Episode 7, I'm sorry, fanboys, I love the original trilogy and everything, but it's not gonna focus on the original cast. I've seen so many videos of people saying, oh, it's gotta focus on the original cast, they've gotta be crucial to this story. And I'm sorry, everybody, but they're not crucial to the story. It's good that they're getting them back to appeal to the nostalgia aspect of what J.J. Abrams is wanting to go for. And I almost say that he's going a little bit too much into the nostalgia, like going back to full sets, stunt models, original cast, probably referencing much of the original story in a way. I hope it's just not overly indulged in nostalgia, or else I'm just going to be going, let's get something new here. It's not going to focus on the main cast. We have a bunch of new actors, a bunch of new talent that's coming in, that they're going to get the spotlight. It's good that the original cast is coming back to bring a little bit of credibility to, that this is indeed the follow-up saga to the original trilogy. Be like, yes, here's an older version of Luke, here's an older version of Han Solo here. They're in their 60s. They will not be able to hold a movie on their own, like they did back in the 70s and 80s when they were young. They held the movie together fine then, but we need young talent to bring the movie together and, provide our eyes as the audience so that we can follow them along in this journey. I'm 21 years old. I'm not going to be able to follow a story that's based around a 62-year-old. I'm sorry, but I've still got at least 40 more years to go for that. The second point that I want to make for Star Wars Episode 7 is that the bad guys are going to be showcasing a lot of power and a lot of evil in this next film. Why? Because one of the problems that everyone has said with the prequels is that the bad guys were way too interchangeable. That we didn't have a consistent bad guy, maybe Darth Sidious, but we didn't have a specific and definitive villain for the heroes to fight throughout all three of those films. We had Darth Maul in Episode 1. He was taken out within 20 minutes. Count Dooku was, I don't know where they pulled that from, but, he was just pulled out of the bag at the last half of Episode 2. They didn't defeat him, but he wasn't a good villain to carry over into Episode 3, and they killed him off in the first 20 minutes as well. But the main thing that they're going to have to do that they will probably do with Episode 7, is they're going to showcase how badass and how evil these villains are. Probably won by, I think they've already teased what one of them's going to look like, which is an Inquisitor. They'll be demonstrating, a new blend of the cosmetic kind of Sith Lord that they went for in the prequels with like Darth Maul's makeup and Sidious's makeup. And they'll also be going for the old school type of Sith Lord and Vader, like the intimidating height, the robotic appendages, and all of that kind of stuff. But the way that they're going to showcase them being truly evil and how powerful they are is they're going to have to kill off someone pretty important. A lot of people have said that it's going to be Harrison Ford. I think that, that's actually my number 2, because, Harrison Ford has stated, like, for Empire Strikes Back, he wanted to kill off Han Solo, but, thanks to George Lucas, we kept him around. I honestly think that they're going to kill off Luke Skywalker. I think that these villains have to prove how dastardly and how powerful they are by eliminating one of the most famous and legendary Jedis in the history of cinema. Like, Luke Skywalker was the original, rising Jedi Knight. And for a villain to kill him off within the film, that's going to take a nice stab at the nostalgia part. Be like, hey, we brought Luke Skywalker back, and these villains are bastards. They are really terrible people. And that would give us some good motivation to really hate them, because everybody loves Luke Skywalker. He was our eyes throughout the original trilogy. We grew up with him, and to see some newbie bad guy just come in and make him nothing, that would throw a lot of us into a bit of a rage. Be like, alright, hero number one, please kill him. And it'll be even better if that carries on through the entire sequel trilogy. Like, we have this same villain that just, we keep getting that reminder that this guy killed Luke Skywalker. My third point is that this opportunity for Episode 7 is really going to expand the Star Wars universe. Like, we did get a bit of expansion with the Clone Wars, probably with Rebels, and with a little bit with the prequels. This is going to be the game changer, because this is post Empire, where, a little bit of promotion here, they can draw a lot from this, even though it's technically not canon, the Book of Sith. There's a lot of great villain material to draw from, because what I really wish that they had done with the prequels was delve into the lore behind the dark side, because they had so many opportunities to do that, because it was the rising power, it was new, it was fresh. In the sequel trilogy, they can really expand upon what their culture's like, because we've gotten enough of the Jedi culture already. We got that in 6 films, but maybe they'll delve into the darker aspects of, the galaxy's history, or the history of the Sith and the Dark Jedi, and all of that. But it'll probably showcase new worlds, all kinds of new characters. I mean, I'm sure that they're going to stick with, a Tatooine, because, it wouldn't be Star Wars without Tatooine. But they've said that they're going to be new planets, all kinds of new locations, new ships probably. Still want to see the Millennium Falcon though, just for that nostalgia aspect. And my fourth big point for the Star Wars Episode 7 predictions is that they're going to, if they're not doing this already, they need to do this. They have to ground the action again. One of the things with the prequels, like, I grew up with the prequels. It was actually the first Star Wars movie I saw, because, as a kid, you don't really care about the characters. You just want to go and see the special effects and the cool action. And the one thing about the prequels, though, growing, now as an adult viewing them, the action is a little over the top. It's awesome to look at, but it's not as realistic as, the dogfights or the saber duels within the original trilogy. It was much more showcasing and choreographed, for at least the lightsaber duels. The Darth Maul duel, while awesome to watch, is clearly very heavily choreographed. But then, to counter that point, the main problem with the original films is that the lightsaber duels didn't feel very graceful. We do need a bit of choreography in it to make it appealing to the eye, because while we did get the emotional impact of the duel, and I'm sure that the stunt trainers back then weren't as, well trained as they are today, it looked like they were just constantly beating each other with baseball bats. This kind of gets old after a little while. I'm sure that this new film is going to blend both sides of the action. Everyone has seen the Old Republic trailers, and how, granted, while they're CG and they have this fantastic action, everything seems a little bit more grounded. The duels aren't crazy over the top, but they're not, just, okay, block, and then we're done. It was a combination of both, and I think that that's one of the takes that they're going for with building the models again, building the actual sets. Is they're going for the grounded part again, but I'm sure that they're going to incorporate the bit of fantastical stuff that they did with the prequels. So those are my thoughts on the Star Wars Episode 7 predictions. It's hard to believe that, we still have a little bit over a year to go for this. But let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you all out there.